welcome to Everything is the Same Except, a podcast where we take any media we want, change one thing about it, and then explore what will be affected by this one little change. I'm your host, Ninja.
I'm also your host, Gage, better known as Cat Comic Studios, the handsome artist behind Key to the Future's Fate. Call
You're
me
a
baby.
guest, you dumb bitch.
I've been on every podcast. I think I deserve host status.
Guest.
Fine.
I'm your co-host, Chris C. Coming to you live from Williamsburg, Virginia.
Really? Oh.
Hi, I'm Manny, and I'm not actually the host. I'm just here as a guest. Yeah!
Thank you!
I couldn't be host even if I wanted to.
And I was going to usurp Ninja's host position, but Manny broke the cool kids chain, so now I can't be.
I'm still trying to usurp her position.
Combo breaker.
Alright, Gage, if you want to be the one to make all the images for this, and also, keep the podcast archives on your computer, and eventually, purchase a external hard drive, go ahead, be my guest.
No. I just want to be, in charge where I get, all the credit, but don't do any of the work, like a rich person.
Boo.
No.
Oh, boy.
What are we exploring today, Ninja?
Everything is the same except I have eaten Gage's liver.
Well, I don't drink, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. That's the only thing livers are for, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Okay, in reality though, first on the order is Rugrats, except they accidentally will their fake realities into existence.
Oh god.
Why do they have this power?
Because
they're babies!
Accidentally?
Yeah, they are babies. So.
I'm just assuming, I'm
just saying, the accidentally is what's throwing me here. That this is not a natural power that they even have. So it's like how does this? Oops! I altered the fabric of reality. How do you do that?
You get really involved in your pretend game, and then it's like, oh god, and they're like, okay, we're done now. Oh god, it's real. Oh god.
Oops.
Rugrats except they're older gods.
Again. I played with your heart.
Chris, you stop that.
I'm lost in the game.
I don't know the song well
Oh,
enough.
baby.
It's Oops, I
It
Did
is
It Again. It was
popular.
popular in
Baby.
2000.
Anyway.
Spears.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to
So-
try to avoid
so-
my usual explanation, which would be invoking some kind of elder god. So
That's why I did this, bitch.
Eldritch.
to do my usual thing.
Eldritch.
But see.
Nope.
Everything can be explained on Eldritch Gods here.
No,
I'm not ready for
okay.
that for me. I'm just saying, it's like it is. I'm taking another angle here, and I'm saying that the power that allows them to make things real is the fourth wall.
Oh shoot.
Yes.
That, well, yeah.
Accidentally killed the writer.
That just seemed, man, my head hurts already.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining, they just slowly develop this power. So, my idea is that maybe they're sort of demigods, but with eldritch beings instead.
No.
How can you be sort of a demigod? You're either
Or,
a demigod or you aren't.
Yeah, demigods are already sort of deities.
So, okay, so they're basically demigods, but in the eldritch sense.
I feel like we're going
But
a
no
little
one
high.
knows this.
I feel like we're going a little high concept with it.
Oh,
I mean, okay.
we must go further.
No.
We must go deeper.
Well, what I'm saying is that this doesn't. I don't feel like to me it necessarily implies that. When you
episode's-
say it like this, it implies that their powers are necessarily almost bad. And I don't feel like that's necessarily the case,
Well, Eldritch
especially if
doesn't
it's
need to mean-
accidentally.
Eldritch
As someone
doesn't mean it's
who
bad.
Works with kids works with babies in my daily life, and by works with babies I mean am in a room with 12 to 15 of them on every average day,
Huh.
I will say that giving babies the power to alter reality is a fast track to terrifying things happening because they don't even know what to do with their hands, buddy.
I mean, yeah, babies are sociopaths.
Yeah.
That's a fact. But
We're not going off of
Saying that
what.
they are malicious. I'm saying that babies don't understand how to manipulate the world in ways that get results that are things that they want.
But
Think
Man,
about what
and
they're
then be so upset
they-
because it hurt them. Yes.
think about what they're doing.
But the problem with you thinking that way is you're not thinking in the way that, like, Rugrats actually is as a series. You can't just be like, oh, well, regular babies, you know, constantly shit their pants and don't develop language skills until, you know, a certain
That is right.
point.
Rugrats has kind of a weird secret life of babies thing going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're
So
talking.
I'm-
That's why I'm talking for like Rugrats reality, where like
Yeah.
babies are a little more
I'm thinking
confident.
fourth dimensionally.
Where like the plot in this version would just be like they're Eldritch God, but like demigod, like half Eldritch.
They
God.
don't need to be Eldritch
Oh
gods.
shit, that's right. I'm getting too involved in this.
they're Shinto nature spirits.
Ah.
We're not doing
Okay,
that
but Manny,
again.
you know what? Okay, but yeah, Manny, you know, Galaxy Brain take here for a hot second. If we will entertain briefly the concept of Eldritch gods, which I am still trying to stay away from, but you know, it's like catnip
Right.
to me.
It's okay. Another one, I'll bring it up later.
Lovecraftian beings are functionally like just baby gods.
I like that.
That's cute.
Like the non-eldritch gods are just adult gods that have their crap together and just like understand how many eyeballs a human expects them to show up having. Eldritch beings are just like and then like just like a shiny sparkly like I don't know white bearded the way Christianity frequently depicts God. Bearded old man in robes, like holding like a tiny Cthulhu and being like, "Who's a little baby?" And Cthulhu being like, he's like, "That's right."
Baby just holds open its hands, and just in its head you hear, "I could atomize you with but a thought, you worm."
The time baby from Gravity Falls.
That too. Yeah, there you go.
So Rugrats are completely normal. They can just manipulate reality.
Yeah, because if they're a demigod, that suggests that Stu is not the father, which is
Oh,
sad.
that's true. That would be true. So like they manipulate reality. They don't notice it at first. So they're like, "Oh, this is real. Oh shoot." And then they actually start exploiting it. And there's this whole arc where they go way too far with it, and then they just like and then they're like, "Oh no, we have to stop doing this." And so they stop.
How
And
do
then
we
it
know
goes to the grown-up universe.
babies!
Plot out of this?
A little bit. I watched
How do we-
Rugrats a bit.
How do we know Stu isn't a god?
Because
point.
yeah,
He's
because that's
lost
just my
control.
thinking. It's entirely possible that like the implication here is that like the Rugrats actually don't that they aren't normal beings because they like they're just babies. They don't understand their true power yet.
Will they keep this power as they get older, Ninja? Or will it eventually fade away? Assuming they don't just undo
Oh,
reality.
that's a good question.
I feel
Okay,
like
but
they'd
can you
still have
imagine
it.
the hell? I'm forgetting her name.
So like the Rugrats.
So all
freaking
grown
mom,
up,
just, like,
it'll be all
being
grown
like,
up, but they'll
"Aw."
be fucking reality benders.
Yes.
That's
Can
when they
you
start
imagine the
exploiting it.
freaking mom lady from this.
Because, like, as babies, they're just having a fun time. They think, oh, this was like a pretend game or something that they did as kids. And then the all grown up thing happens, and it's like, wait a minute. This was actually happening. Oh,
Like-
God.
See, I feel
Love-
like
I
in
love that you
Can we
remember
stop for a
all.
second?
Huh?
What was the character you were trying to remember, Casey?
The mom, Tommy, and Stu's
Dee Dee?
wife, Dee Dee.
no wait.
Like,
don't
can
think
you
that's right, I
imagine
don't know.
Dee Dee being like, "Oh gosh, the kids broke reality again," and just like,
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems pretty canon.
I think that would be for pure novelty's sake. I feel like that should be a thing.
And she does have that, like, baby book that she would always read.
Oh, yeah, or like that Dr. Lipschitz or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yep. She'd be like,
So,
it
okay.
isn't in the book. I don't know.
I have
what to
two.
do."
I have 2 world building questions here.
Yep.
Question number 1: are the Rugrats the only ones with these powers? Yes or no?
Like the 5 of them?
Or is this a worldwide phenomenon that like starts happening?
I feel like you would have to restrict it to the 5 of them, because otherwise it's like, oh, total chaos in storytelling.
Well, and then eventually Chucky's sister and Dill.
Yeah.
Ew.
Dell.
Yeah! I remember that movie. That movie was dark as hell.
But Angelica's just like, stupid babies. And they just
Chucky doesn't have a mom.
No!
He could make a mom. It's fine.
You can bring her back to reality warping.
Age.
That's actually really sad.
my
He could just make a. He could make like a copy out of nothing.
No, please, God, no! Gage, no!
Ninja, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen when you gave these babies God mode?
I didn't think you would be awful with it. Is a fake mom still a mom if she has no free will?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's why they learn the lesson.
And then
If
they do it
they're
right the
not
second
that-
time.
they could just give her the free will though.
They don't know how to do it as babies.
That is a Casey. The
We can
words you
figure it
just
out
said.
later.
Casey, the words you just said, I'm pretty sure going to be debated by philosophers for centuries. You could just give them free will.
I mean, like, how, like, listen, if you're, like, comparable to a heckin' deity, how hard genuinely is it to give something a think brain? We have, lots of things have brains.
Yeah, but then you're getting into like the
Bad boy.
metaphysical argument of like, is free will real, or is it just like it's some, or is it just like
Remind me of that.
bunch of
I entered a philosophy club once in college, and it was a bad mistake that I made because it was actually a lot less philosophy club and a lot more one guy who has done shit tons of research on this proceeds to sit everyone down to
Probably
lecture them
weed.
about why free will is fake and how you're dumb.
Oh my god! Tell that guy to save some pussy for the rest of us.
Excuse me, what? Okay. If free will is fake, then how come I can tell Gage that he is a good friend? Even though normally I call him a bitch.
Go with it, and that's really cute.
There's like electricity flowing through your meat brain, and it makes feelings happen sometimes.
It does, but that doesn't mean that I don't have the liberty to choose the meat brain.
Yes, but it's your you choosing is your brain choosing to choose, and it like this is what I'm saying. Like it's very it gets. Yeah, you ever think about the fact that you aren't really? It's not so much you; it's just your brain's projecting onto the meat body that you have.
But you are
Hey,
your
this
brain.
got
Part
weird.
of
This
me.
got
Yeah.
weird fast.
Yeah, I know.
Like, free will is a
Got here?
thing, because I can choose to do, like, whatever the fuck. Yeah, there's limitations to it, but I can still,
If
like...
If you break the limiter,
I really don't want to actually get into a debate on free will when we're talking about the fucking Rugrats.
with like God mode.
Also, everybody
Patios,
keeps,
this is the Rugrats
keeps
required.
saying
Keep saying what?
everyone keeps saying free will, and my brain keeps mentally adding a Y on the end of it.
Free Willy! That's what the Rugrats do when they remove their diapers.
Yeah. Okay. So if it is just
boy.
if it is just the Rugrats that have the god powers, then I feel like obviously that changes the story because now it's not just
Yeah.
babies learning about the universe. It's we've been gifted something almost
Now it's X-Men.
terrifying. And we have to learn like how to adapt with it. Like this isn't just like some Percy Jackson thing where it's like, oh, I can control water. It's like, no, I can literally bend all of the universe. Like
We can imagine some snowstorm in like an Arctic area, and suddenly there's that
Not where
happening.
the Arctic is, though.
The
That's
Rugrats-
the only episode I
Second
remember.
impact.
the Rugrats are basically that dude from Death Note.
They don't kill anyone!
You don't
No.
know that.
I was gonna say,
Not
you
on
don't know
purpose.
that might happen totally unintentionally.
They're the ones that will the reality. They can decide who lives and who dies.
Yeah, but they're only. Yeah, right,
Oh,
they're
sure. When I say
only
bring back
babies.
someone from the dead, it's weird. But when you say it,
It's not bringing someone back from the dead. It's like, here is this snowstorm. It isn't actually a snowstorm.
Oh, so it's like a holographic projection or something.
No,
no, they're
like,
doing it.
like it's there,
when they're
but
doing it.
it's the baby equivalent of a snowstorm. So it's not gonna be like, oh yeah, you
Not
can freeze
deathly
and
or
get
anything.
frostbite. Yeah.
I do admit, I would love to see the story about like a bunch of like godlings being born to the world, and them just like having to adapt and decide like what they can and can't do with their powers and stuff.
I'm going to argue something. I'm going to argue a change here that should happen basically because I think it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Angelica should be the only one who's not a reality warper.
Yes!
I mean,
Yes.
that's what I was
Consistently
thinking right
anyway.
away.
That would
She's
piss
their
her
anchor.
off so much.
Yes.
No, I'm
She
not
would be
saying.
so-
I'm not saying because I want to spite Angelica. I'm saying because it would fit with the role of Angelica's character if she's effectively the trickster archetype in this pantheon who cons her way into effective godhood.
Yeah, makes sense.
She'd be the Loki.
Exactly.
She'd be
Yeah.
that faux chart. That's like, is it Loki's fault? No, bullshit. Make Loki fix it.
She's
Yeah,
the
that's
an-
that's
you were saying
another
she was
question.
the anchor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was my groove. But I guess my question is like, yeah, what kinds of deity-like beings do you think they would be, Ninja? Like, where do you
Benevolence?
think this story's going?
I mean,
Benevolence the good one.
if we want
I'm
to go
thinking
off,
it goes to like Akira or Evangelion levels of weird.
Oh god!
I want to get in the robot Tommy.
see, I don't want to change like.
He's
the
gotta fight
tone.
Reptar.
Look,
They already did that.
you tell
Yeah,
me
you're
that
right.
wouldn't
No,
happen.
they already literally did a mecha.
Wasn't that
I
Rugrats
know.
in Paris?
I
think?
remember.
Yes.
I remember.
Versus
I saw
a
that
man
movie.
who was losing his pants.
Yeah.
And was in a giant. They actually caused destruction of Paris. To a
Oh yeah!
sizable degree.
Oh
Yes.
yeah!
I don't remember.
that. No, that was in the movie. I vaguely remember the movie.
I just remember the VHS was orange.
All the Nickelodeon VHSs were orange back then.
I miss VHS tapes. And cartridges being different colors.
But what was the?
I was asking Ninja like how she thinks it's gonna turn
Yeah.
out.
I think it will be still in a similar tone to the show. I don't think we
Yeah.
need to go
Fair.
like,
Just a bit
oh, it'd
more
be grimdark.
Just a bit
that's
more
fair.
surreal. Just a bit more surrealist,
Yes.
probably.
Because
Yeah.
it's like, it's reality, but altered by, you know, a bunch of babies. So, like, even a giant snowstorm isn't going to be, like, super cold. Because to a baby, any amount of cold is cold.
Yeah.
But
If
it
it's
really
like-
could be like 60s or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, in a sweltering desert, yeah, it'll look like a desert, but it's essentially, like, an illusion with maybe, like, you know, 2 degrees hotter.
Yeah.
I mean, my problem is though, like, I feel like you can't keep that tone at least by the time you get to all grown up.
Right, once it's all grown up, that's fine to change
Then it's a
it.
fucking free for all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it becomes Evangelion.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's when they start learning about like the grim reality of what their powers can do. But when
Yes.
they're babies, they don't know yet. They're like having a fun time.
You know what?
Yeah?
With the idea of Angelica not having powers, I think it could also be funny if it's like she was. I don't know if she's necessarily the one that gave them the powers, but maybe she's just someone who's like sent to tutor them.
Are you insinuating Angelica stole fire from the gods?
Yes, I'm saying that Angelica is
Yes.
fucking Prometheus.
Yes.
Makes sense.
I love it.
I also feel like initially I feel like she would be like the one who's like trying to explain like these kids are warping reality and no one seems to notice that, or like no one seems to believe her because by the time they realize, or like by the time they finally, it's like a Phineas and Ferb situation. By the time they get there, like everything's back to normal, or maybe a little bit tweaked at the end because you know you can't totally erase everything.
Yeah.
But
Look, don't roll your eyes at me, Mom. Look.
Okay, I can suspend my disbelief long enough in Rugrats for it to be like, obviously, yeah, they're not gonna have the episode where the government agents come in. It's like, what the fuck are these babies doing? But I feel like at a certain point, like, you are really stretching the limits of disbelief because I mean, There's got to be at least some point where they can point to the babies and say, like, no, the baby did that. I'm not crazy.
It'd make a fun arc.
This is why I feel like
Yeah.
a sensible presumption is that the adults also have that power.
Yes.
But they're like it's like a situation where like maybe they had like they got the power but they can't use it because like it's like a recessive gene type deal. Where like they
Recessive genes.
can't use it.
No, we're not doing this.
Okay.
I had to do a Camp. Look, when you set up a Camp Clark homage, I have to do a Camp Clark homage.
Fuck is Camp Clark?
What?
How dare you?
Liquid.
Oh.
I'll
I
take your
like
word for it.
Genes.
Would you don't get me stuck on genes? I will talk for
Gear
20
Solid.
minutes.
Metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's a good thing we didn't have Roxy here. She brought that up last time.
Psst.
Well, I brought it up, and then she was like, no. Did we talk about genes in, like, another episode?
Maybe?
I
don't
was
think-
only in the
Doesn't
first
sound
one.
familiar.
I wasn't there
Alright.
for that one.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So
But we
yeah, it
did.
sounds like our conclusion is basically they're not Eldritch gods, they're just like regular little godlets.
Yep.
And
Yes.
it's just a fun little show of like, haha, look at these god babies, and then all grown up, everything fucking changes.
Glorious.
Lovely.
Violent tone shift.
Yeah.
Yes. Like it starts off the same, but
season
they're
6 of
more
Samurai Jack.
rational now. And they're like, oh no.
I'm saying I don't trust teenagers with god powers. Like just
Oh, no.
blanket, I don't.
God no.
Defense with god powers.
No, it's fine.
Don't upset teenagers with god powers, Gage. They're gonna break into your home.
I mean, again, I mentioned Percy Jackson. I love those kinds of books. I'm just glad that the authors are who they are and not,
Yeah.
awful people.
Alright, are we ready for the next one then?
Yes.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yogi Bear, but he lives in a city park.
I don't know enough about Yogi Bear to dispute that.
I don't know how much that would change because I think like parks still have some kind of ordinance and structure.
A no bear ordinance.
So like, I feel as if little would change about that beyond fires. Also, I don't think bears. Yogi Bear regularly he just kind of roams around, But like in a city park, they're usually in more enclosures, to my understanding.
No, I'm saying literally, Yogi Bear, he just lives in like, a block wide park.
Oh, okay.
Like Central Park?
No.
No, even smaller.
Yes.
Okay.
like kid
don't live in a
jungle
city,
gym
like-
fucking park.
Yes.
Like picnic table. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So
Okay.
like the kind
Where'd
that was
he
like
hide?
near you and Clocky then.
Exactly.
There's
Where
like,
would
there's
he
like nowhere to
hide?
hide. Does he just like emerge out of the sewers periodically? Exploits of local sewer bear.
I cannot wait for the Yogi Bear TMNT crossover.
Oh, okay, you listen. That would be wild. Okay, look, I have a Wikipedia list of stuff he's done. Okay,
Give me the best ones.
let me run down the list of some series that he's had.
Mm-hmm.
Laugh Olympics, where Hanna-Barbera characters are on different Olympics teams.
Okay.
Race. This show had Yogi Bear paired up with Scare Bear, they're opposite of Huckleberry Hound, being paired up with Quack Up the Duck. Galaxy Goof Ups. This show had Yogi Bear, Huckleberry Hound, Scare Bear, and Quack Up working as bumbling intergalactic police officers. Yogi's
Is Yogi
treasure.
Bear? Hold on. Is Yogi Bear romantically involved with Huckleberry Finn?
Huckleberry Hound, you dumb
Yeah, that
bitch.
one. Sorry.
Huckleberry Finn
Okay.
is a child.
Yogi. Okay, there's Yogi's Treasure Hunt. The new Yogi
I
Bear
think
show.
I can hear Mark Twain rolling in his grave as we speak.
Yogi, a series where kid versions of Yogi and the other Hanna-Barbera characters were cool hip teens that solved mysteries at a mall.
Let me guess. That was the 90s.
Yes.
And then there's the TV movies. Yogi's First Christmas, Yogi's All-Star, Yogi's Great Escape, Yogi Bear and the Magical Flight of the Spruce Goose, Yogi and the
What?
Invasion
Why
of
is
Space.
Yogi Christian?
Magical Flight of the Spruce Goose. You heard
Why
what
does
I
Yogi
said.
care about human gods?
No. Yogi and the Invasion of the Space Bears.
What?
That is a real thing that exists.
What the fuck is Yogi Bear? Does Yogi
You just
Bear
a furry?
exist in a world where, like, all the animals are like this? I know we kind of went over it when we brought up Scooby-Doo, but I think that was off of another Hanna-Barbera thing. What was the thing? Because, like, we went on a tangent.
So
I mean, if you want to,
it's off of Tom and Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
I have a different tangent we could go off of.
Yep.
What if Yogi Bear is not actually he's not a bear, he's just some dude in a fursuit. hanging out
It's
hanging
a
out in
very
the park.
good fursuit. It's a
It's
very
very-
convincing fursuit. Like, some
That's
good
why
quality
he's poor. He
stuff.
spent all of his money on it.
He's just
Yeah,
sweating
there we go.
like so he's just sweating like crazy in it.
Yeah.
Those things are hot as hell. I've only worn the head and hands before. Hot.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
imagine
it's
a
like
full-on thing.
Haha, Ranger, you cannot arrest me. I am still a bear. I am an endangered species. Bears aren't endangered. I'm the only one of my kind. What are you? Sparkle Dick Bear.
My dick glows in the dark.
oh, also there was The Good, the Bad, and Huckleberry Hound, a western they were all in.
I'm sorry, I can't get over the dick glows in the dark. Because I just imagine him, like, taking the ranger to the side at night and being like, showing him that.
He paid extra for that, you know.
Don't understand what's happening anymore, and I'm scared.
You don't understand what's happening just
Oh,
now?
God.
It only took you like 8
Just
episodes.
now. Are we a sensible?
Yes,
are
just
we
now.
exclusively sensible people in this establishment?
No. No.
Are we maintaining some
God.
visage of respectability in this establishment?
Okay, Ninja, I feel like at some point we are going to inevitably have the like questioning thing of like, what are they all animal? Are all animals like this? So I really want to go down this path of like, is Yogi Bear just some weirdo in a fursuit just fucking around a park?
Question of if all the Hanna-Barbera people are like this Huckleberry
Yes!
Hound,
Yeah, they're all just furries.
Snagglepuss, Augie Doggy.
I suppose it makes some sense, except Scooby-Doo. I
Snagglepuss is just a
refuse to say
twink.
Scooby-Doo is not just a regular-ass dog.
He's the only actual dog.
Because he acts like too much like a regular dog most of the time. But Yogi Bear, I feel like, doesn't really act like a bear the majority of the time.
Oh, he acts like a fur person.
Right. So he's clearly a furry. Scooby-Doo is clearly a dog that just has, you know...
This just makes me imagine that there's just an unnerving equilibrium in the Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe between sapient and furries that both presume that the other is like them.
And then if we want to include, like, Tom and Jerry and more of the, like, other characters that aren't necessarily Hanna-Barbera.
I thought Scooby-Doo was like half Elder God or something from what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Or
So,
half
like,
alien or
he
something.
He is
Yeah.
totally justified to be the only one who's actually a regular ass dog with just some
Yep.
tiny,
Yep.
tiny bit of power. Just a tiny bit of power.
Tom and Jerry are still, like, a cat and mouse. Because
Yeah.
we've
Yes.
seen other, you know, animals
'Cause-
within that verse.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
they
think they're
do-
Hanna-Barbera though. Are we only talking Hanna-Barbera? Because I don't think Tom and Jerry are Hanna-Barbera.
We went over this.
They are originally.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
originally, but not what you would call, like, Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Okay.
Just because of the
Right,
way...
they've had a few dip-ins, like with the Johnny Quest thing I mentioned before, but not like they aren't part. They don't usually hang around with Yogi or Snagglepuss or Scooby-Doo.
Who was the giant shark one?
Yeah, but Jaw.
I feel like Jabba Jaw's a
Wasn't
furry.
like that thing with like, the, like that.
Scaly.
Was he in that dude? Was he the dude who was in like the episodes with like, those two dogs, like the big fluffy dog and the small little dachshund looking thing?
You
I
mean
think that's-
Scrappy Doo?
No, God.
In the newer cartoon? Because they did have like a crossover.
I don't think there were dogs in Jabberjaw. No.
No,
Two
in
dogs.
All those aquatic dogs.
I think that he might be referencing like the crossover episode of Scooby-Doo.
No, there was like this. There's this show called Two Something Dogs, and there's
Two
like
Stupid
little...
Dogs?
Yes, that's it.
Was in that.
It's like that used to be in like Nicktoons.
No, that was Cartoon Network. That was Hanna-Barbera.
Okay.
Yeah. Or something. Like, it was
I'm
like,
looking at their designs. They're definitely just furries.
Okay.
You know what else are Hanna-Barbera furries that I've been watching again recently? SWAT Cats. That show is awesome.
Yeah, that would be furries. That'd be furries. What's the one that's popular in like Latin America countries?
Cat.
Yeah. He is definitely a furry. Him and all of his friends are just furries.
I like that this is a universe where everyone is just slightly tolerating the antics of these weird fuck furries that are just doing this shit. That's just going around like asking for picnic baskets and all that shit.
Please
Take
stop
a bath,
harassing the
Yogi.
families
God
at the
damn it.
park, Yogi. Listen, I'm poor after buying my fursuit. This is a digigrade, bitch.
It's a killer on the knees, but it looks super real.
Digigrade just means it looks like you have like a weird bend in your leg that isn't normal.
The knees bend backwards instead of forwards.
So
Like a kitty.
Sometimes it'll be a prosthetic where you're essentially on like high heels, and other times it's
you like
padding.
mod the foot. So
okay.
Other times you have invasive surgery and then just switch to
No, that's hardcore. That's way too hard.
Yeah, that's hardcore is a good way to
Someone
put
has done
that.
Coggy, I have learned so many interesting things since you've introduced me to other people. I love it.
Okay, Chris. I understand, and I appreciate that sentiment. I just want to say that the way you phrased that made it sound like I just like found you in Narnia or something and brought you into the real people world, and I'm not sure how I feel about describing it that way.
I think they were just giving us the nicest diss I've ever gotten. Ooh, I could taste the backhand in that compliment.
Yeah, this is just a very informative podcast that we're having here.
That's the word for it.
So now my podcast is called Everything is Furry. So now we're gonna explain to Chris everything about furries.
Joke's on you, I'm only entry level. I don't know shit about them.
Oh.
I just draw cats
so
standing
many
on two
horrible
legs.
things.
That's all I got.
I mean,
Manny, you make fursuits on like regular occasion, my bud.
I'm getting there. That's exactly. I only do that. Like
Chris,
I don't have. I'm not making them with actual fur. I'm making them with socks.
Chris, all I'm gonna say is that Vor doesn't just have to be.
No!
involved in
No!
that.
Wait, no, I
Anyway,
missed part-
yes, so we need
No,
to pause
I missed
the
part of-
podcast. I will be taking
I'll
over the
tell you
podcast for now
later.
so that Ninja can drive to Gage's house and kill him.
I know where
Oh yes,
he
that part
lives.
in every podcast.
No, I missed the rest of.
No, you don't.
I heard Vor and then nothing else.
Chris. You didn't miss
Chris,
anything.
given the part that you did here, do you want to go deeper?
No,
Absolutely.
Chris, no.
Of course,
Chris,
you want to go deeper.
Chris.
That's the point of Vor.
So yes, all right, we're moving on with the Sonic Ninja. What's the Sonic the Hedgehog prompt? I
No,
can get
no.
started
Yes.
on info dumping, and then you
The
can kill.
question-
And
No,
then you
wait,
can
no,
Gage.
wait.
Is Sonic just someone in a fursuit?
No. I just realized this prompt is gonna be awful after a Vor joke. I don't want to say it. Can we please say like something else before I do this, please? Jesus
No,
Christ.
actually, I feel like now we need to hear it right now.
It's Sonic, except chaos gets smaller the more gems they get. So see, it's not good after a Vor joke. It's awful. I hate this.
Okay, actually, my first mental image is wretchedly cute and wholesome, actually.
Thank you.
Because, like, can you imagine... Okay, so, like, for those of you unaware, Perfect Chaos is, like, a big ol' snaky boy. I come with informative visuals because this is, in fact, my special interest and all special interests.
Hey.
I mean, I can get up an image, but yeah, if you're gonna put one in chat.
Chaos is a good liquid boy.
God.
I'm a good liquid boy.
Okay, I got an image.
So perfect chaos is, you know,
Yes. Look at that
Godzilla
big
here,
old son of a gun.
squeaky boy. Very large, very intimidating. But now, like, imagine this thing. Palm.
Yes.
Imagine
I
the little
love it.
noises it would make. A wiggly, squeaky boy.
Well, that wasn't quite
Like,
what I
this would
meant,
be-
but yeah.
Snake.
Continue.
Snake.
It's
Snake.
baby! And this is even better because if you look at the actual lore of the Sonic Adventure game,
Yep.
established that Chaos is actually a benevolent creature that has very little interest in destruction, and it is a wrathful god only because people beat up its friends, the Chow.
Aww.
Aw.
The Chow are basically the best parts of a toddler, a
Did you
chihuahua.
hear a cat purring? Sorry.
It's me. I always feel
Toddler,
very
a
relaxed when
chihuahua.
Clocky starts talking about Sonic.
Okay, anyway.
And a teddy bear roped into a singular entity. They are adorable. They can also physically, destroy large robots with their bare hands. This is a canonical property.
I've read the
Played
Sonic
Sonic
comics.
Advance games, Cream the Rabbit is unbelievably broken purely because she has a Chow companion. So, Tiny Chaos would still be exactly as deadly, if not deadlier,
Yeah.
its normal size counterpart.
It's like that tiny Yuya flare drew the other day. Can still munch on the
Probably.
beast.
Clocky was
It's
Tiny
functionally
Chaos
the
who
killer
became
rabbit
a-
from Monty Python.
Yes, even better.
Functionally become the killer rabbit from Monty Python.
Just type
So
it.
wait, how does it get weaker? I missed that part, Ninja. Or smaller, rather.
The more gems it gets. So, like, the idea is normally throughout the game, like, it'll start accruing more and more gems eventually. Well, Chaos Emeralds, to be
You mean
exact.
the Chaos Emeralds?
No. Yes, but no.
Obama chuckles.
Thanos chuckled.
Anyway, yeah. So, yeah.
We're
So
horrible.
in this case, it sounds like the Chaos
Basement,
Emerald.
everything is the same except perfect chaos, and say you just it's like this.
Yes. It sounds like in this case the Chaos Emeralds are more of a
Oh baby.
are more of like a not repellent, but some sort of like something that weakens you.
I would argue that they make chaos more powerful, just also smaller.
Yeah.
And like you could do a cool thing of like as because chaos starts out as in Sonic's terms a big drip in the sense of a watery blob monster. As it grows stronger, it condenses more and more into a nearly indestructible crystalline form.
Okay, I guess maybe a better way to say it then would be, it sounds like the Chaos Emeralds are more, in this case, it sounds like the main purpose of the Chaos Emeralds is for like, maybe not containing monsters, but like making them more manageable, I guess would be a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But the important question here,
So,
would this
like-
also affect Sonic when Sonic uses the Chaos Emerald's power to achieve
He
Super
just
Sonic?
becomes a regular
Like with
sized
Super
hedgehog.
Sonic. Nicely.
I love it.
I mean, I think an important distinction to make, though, is the fact that when Sonic gets the emeralds, it does not affect his size at all regularly.
It just affects his
Oh,
power.
so he turns into like a tiny but dangerous yellow thing.
Be right back.
Yeah, Super Saiyan.
So, a hedgehog-sized Sonic.
Yes,
And then just
that's adorable.
Yes.
I mean, I like anything that makes things adorably small for no particular reason.
Shadow the Hedgehog, the world's ultimate life form. For games, farewell.
I didn't even know you could do that voice.
I didn't either. It was so cutesy.
Oh my god.
Shove it directly into your nose. That is, you don't shove anything else into your nose because noses generally are averse to having anything in them that's not air.
Nope, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make a
Sorry, I had
joke.
to get
Alright,
over it.
moving on.
Sorry, I had to get up for a second. What did I miss?
Nothing.
And you need to go to
Nothing.
Gage's house and kill them again.
I
Oh.
didn't make. I restrained myself. Damn it.
Did he say the V word again?
No.
No, this was something else.
I almost did.
No! 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 No!
Why does it make
Said-
things smaller, Ninja? What is the lore of why it makes things smaller?
I have
The
a
chaos
hypothesis.
symbols.
I have a hypothesis before Ninja
Go on.
answers this. Okay, so as we all know,
Yes, good.
excuse me a moment while I adjust my nerd glasses. Since the adventure games onwards, the Chaos Emeralds have had a very specific shape, which is the Brilliant Cut, which most people know as the stereotypical diamond shape. Do you know what this clearly looks like? A prism. Things
Yes.
are, there's a broad, flat face of light on one end, and light is refracted to the other end. So clearly,
using a
this
model.
is why chaos gets smaller, because chaos's energy is being refracted.
God damn it, Clocky. I hate it when you say smart things.
I love it when he says smart things. Why do you think I became friends with him?
I mean, I had a
The
different
important
goof,
trick is
but
saying
yeah.
Okay,
What
yes,
was your
now what's
goof,
your goof, Ninja?
My goof was the animators ran out of budget, and it's easier to animate very small things than it is very large things, especially with
That's
the limited
not-
textures.
That's not always far off. So
So it was like,
See,
oh
if you-
shit, you made a giant thing first off? Fuck, how much budget do we have? We have this much budget. Shit. Okay.
It gets smaller.
We have to animate every water droplet? Are you trying to kill the animators, or...?
We can't render this! This is 1990, or let's see, 2001? I don't remember.
Sounds like
It
a
would
good
have to
year
be
for
2001 because I had to have been at least 6 at the time.
But yeah, when the first Sonic one came out. Well, not first one, but you know, Sonic
Sonic.
Adventure.
Adventure 1.
Yes. For the,
Dreamcast?
yeah, that was
Yeah,
that was
Dreamcast.
98, 99 when that was coming out.
So,
I
yeah.
was.
I love that this... I love when this podcast just becomes special interest, the podcast.
Woo! God help me, like if we ever get into something that I
Same
actually
except,
know a
except
lot
every
about, we're
time
gonna
someone's
die.
special interest comes up, it goes faster.
Yeah.
I mean, I could edit that, but I don't want to. Maybe someday.
Yeah.
Just play the video at 2 times speed. You can do that on YouTube.
Yeah, but then it doesn't increase the never mind. Anyway, so yeah. Also, I feel like we're missing out on an important aspect of this, which is, would that change how each battle goes?
It'd be significantly harder.
Would it?
Well, yeah, I mean, can you imagine having to hit a target that's increasingly the size of a hecking bean?
Yeah, but it is
Oh,
a
like a-
Sonic game,
Especially
so you have
because,
like
Chaos
auto-targeting.
being a compressed entity, it would probably be faster.
Hmm.
Go
The thing about
fast.
Sonic is a huge amount of his fighting style is contingent not merely on the fact that he is Fast Boy, but also that he's only 3 feet tall. He's baby-sized.
Baby.
And can't
And then
exactly
everybody
break
else-
out a child safety harness and strap him in. Like, Eggman has things that are built for practical dispensing of adults and adult-sized entities. Sonic is baby-sized and deadly.
Ah,
I like...
A
I
hypothetical
like...
perfect chaos in this situation would be turning Sonic's greatest advantage against him because he has to fight something that's smaller and faster than him.
I love that if you read
Yes.
between the lines of that statement, it sounds like Eggman could beat Sonic by just carrying him around in a baby harness.
Just like
I
angry
demand that
little
part.
The problem is
Sonic
he has to
of
get
just like
Eggman. He has to get
kicking
Sonic
his
in the
legs.
baby harness first, and that's where
Right.
the problem lies.
He
But,
just
like,
has to
he's
stand
just
under a
too
chute with the
fast.
baby harness on his chest. Wait for Sonic to fall in.
I mean, the stages are linear enough, which would suggest that, like, there is a possibility of you put enough baby harnesses around the chutes of your lab.
You're just litter.
Sonic's natural enemy.
Okay, but see, the terrifying thing there is, like, Sonic actually has unexpected amounts of strength for being tiny, so, like...
It's inertia.
Industrial.
You want to get... Does Eggman really want to get dragged around the city by his torso because Sonic is wearing a baby harness, but it takes more than that to stop the Sonic machine?
Use
That's true.
Sonic as
Because
a
I may be one of the
perpetual
only people on this world who remembers Sonic Labyrinth. That there was one time where
I
Eggman
vaguely
got stuck
remember that.
in heavy shoes. Where Sonic got stuck
On
in
the
heavy
Saturn?
shoes, and it didn't stop him because he just rolled everywhere.
In gear. I remember that. Like, oh Jesus, that was like kind
Yeah,
of
so
trying
like Sonic would just like
do the thing
swing upwards and then like far enough forwards that he could land on all fours, and then he would just go with Eggman on his back. And it would be terrifying. You would just be the new cryptid of Station Square.
Yeah.
And you can call it the
Sonic
folly
like
of
a
man, and it's
pussy.
just Eggman screaming in terror and he's pulled everywhere by Sonic in a baby harness.
I feel like we did miss one aspect of this though, because I wasn't
on.
thinking like, oh yeah, Chaos starts out as the same size as the first game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where it actually is like
The
pretty,
humanoid
like,
form or the giant worm form?
humanoid form.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would be humanoid sized at the very start of the game.
Are you suggesting that the size would be inversed, so like
large
Chaos
boy.
would
Yes.
start out perfect Chaos sized? My God. Sonic was
Yes.
willing to throw down with it with no explanation for what the hell that was.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean-
just
Funnier.
Sonic.
If you saw
Yeah.
a giant creature just kind of in the middle of Station Square and you're Sonic, you wouldn't at least be like, yeah, no, today's a regular ass Tuesday. Throw hands, bitch.
What the fuck is that, Tails? Sonic, watch your mouth. The fuck?
Sonic, you're like
Though
12.
I will say, being fair, that this just made me imagine Sonic just like rolling up his glove to look at a watch that just says "time to fight" on it at all points. Wow, look at the time. The idea that it like starts out as Godzilla fight and then its ultimate form is just "You're about to witness the wrath of a god." That's hilarious, though, especially if you consider that like Perfect Chaos technically has the highest body count of any known Sega villain.
Jesus.
It's leveled an entire civilization.
Yeah.
Actually, I do have a question. So if we're starting out Perfect Chaos, like, he just, like,
No.
plopped into...
Not
Huh?
starting out Perfect Chaos. Because still
Oh,
doesn't
It's
have...
Chaos
yeah, the
Zero,
slow
who is Perfect
accumulation.
Chaos sized.
Right.
So it's humanoid and Perfect Chaos size? What are you saying?
Yes. Humanoid looking, just kind of like a weird
But it's a
brain.
kaiju.
I mean, Perfect Chaos is already a kaiju, but yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so what I'm saying is that in this version of Sonic, it basically starts out as a kaiju story.
Yes.
I don't remember Sonic Adventure's plot like a whole bunch, but I do feel like that does change things plot wise, because I feel like that's more of a powerful inciting incident.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
how do things shift from there? Is the question.
That's the point of this podcast.
Yeah. So like I feel like in
It is, isn't it? I thought it was just tangents.
well,
Forever, forever tangents.
I feel like in this case it's more like starting off like, whereas the regular Sonic Adventure I believe started off with like humanoid looking and humanoid sized chaos, correct?
Right. And a bunch of cops just like, what the fuck is that thing? I don't
They try
fucking
and
know."
shoot it with their guns.
Yep. And then it's like, bullets.
Because that'll
what
work.
the
If you
fuck
could
is
see
bullets?
its organ, you would at least aim for the one organ it clearly has, which is
Yeah,
its
but
brain.
no one. But obvious. But yeah, I mean.
No, but it's a cardinal rule. All law enforcement has to suddenly forget how to think, and in order to show off how badass the monster is.
But yeah, I feel like in this case, if I feel like the narrative instead becomes like, okay, kaiju happens, send in the military immediately, because I mean, like, what the fuck else you gonna do?
Yep.
So chaos in the city, well, pun kind of intended, I guess, but and then it slowly becomes like, okay, we found out that we can use the chaos emeralds to slowly reduce it in size, but they start to realize like it's not getting weaker, and now it's getting harder to find.
Right.
Now it's almost more of a like maybe a horror thing or like some sort of like you're trying to search it out.
Ooh.
I mean, this actually would align with Chaos's canonical behavior in Sonic Adventure Jam because, around the time Chaos achieves the form of Chaos 6, it actually ditches Eggman altogether and starts sneaking around as basically a nearly invisible puddle of water and starts following Sonic looking for the last Chaos Emerald.
Oh my god, if Chaos was just literally like a puddle of water, like especially if it just like somehow could make it rain or something, it's like, oh
Do that,
no.
I think.
This is just scary prop
It's never
hunt
like
now.
explicitly stated as one of Chaos's powers, but like
Be right back. Gotta let my
you
mom in the
watch
house.
But if you actually watch the opening of Sonic Adventure, it implies Chaos can control water in basically all of its forms to a fairly profuse amount of atmospheric effect, in that it causes the manholes to explode, sewers flood,
Gross.
the entire city to erupt in water that then ultimately is in the form of perfect chaos. So functionally, perfect chaos is not Chaos's necessary true body. It's in fact entirely possible that Chaos doesn't have a physical body at all.
Yeah.
It just forms an avatar of itself conveniently out of bodies of water. So in that sense, this could technically be a canon hypothetical in that Chaos could probably actually be whatever form it wants to at full power.
It's also kind of fucked up because if it starts off like kaiju size, but if it still floods the city, it's just like the game basically just starts out with this entire city being flooded and probably lots of people dying like right out the gate.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that the implication?
Well, conveniently, nobody died ever nobody died in Station Square. At least that's the implication the main one gives, because like.
Oh, so it was the
'Cause it's
abandoned It was the abandoned building district then.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, I mean, with this economy, you could have entire apartment buildings empty.
Yeah, fair.
And that fucking
Oh, no.
97 money. I remember the Great Recession of 97. I was
No,
a boy
I'm saying
of
in the
3.
current economy.
Yeah, but are we remaking the game in like 98 or are
No,
we
I'm just
remaking it
saying.
now?
I'm just saying people have always been this awful.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I just, I always like to like semi-joke that I always thought it would be a great idea if somebody would just give Clocky control of Sonic for like at least like one game. But I feel like he would be really good at establishing some actual like thoroughfare of lore where it's like, okay, Chaos floods the city. What are the ramifications of that in the next game? Because does Sonic Adventure 2 really go into like the effects of what Chaos did?
No.
Sonic Adventure 2 doesn't even remember that Station Square exists.
Yeah.
Ugh. Fun. Okay.
Fuck
cool.
all you people that drowned. You didn't matter.
To be fair, they kind of told all the people that drowned to fuck off in that very exact game, because they literally had a shot at the desolated city and Tails going, "Well, all's well that ends well."
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was great.
I guess all's well that ends
Like,
well.
Tails, you lived there. Amy lived there.
You knew people who lived there. There are.
Yeah, previously they don't live there anymore because they're dead. Corpses bobbing in the sea.
Oh my god.
Gage, I wasn't emotionally
You
prepared
just-
for that musical number.
Yes, that was a Who's Line reference.
No, I thought you were. It sounded like you were singing it to the tune of Ninja Turtles.
Corpses bumping in the sea.
Corpses bobbing in the sea.
Yeah.
Then by and scaring me.
Oh
Corpses
god.
in salt water. Body power.
Turtle power.
No. Body
Fuck.
count. There you go.
We are horrible people.
Can
No.
I at least bring up a better, like, positive note?
No.
At least,
Okay.
like, you would be able to have Chaos with all the Chaos Emeralds just kind of sitting in a Chow Garden afterwards, like, yes, he's home now. Yes.
Perfect chaos should assume the shape of a desert rain frog here.
Yep.
I appreciate
And then,
that.
like,
Yes.
Because can you imagine just like poking the god of destruction and hearing it go?
and then you have Eggman.
For listeners of this podcast, if you've never heard what the noise a desert rain frog makes,
Yeah, look that up right after you
Yes.
see the tails
It's
flip.
Oh, stop, please.
But it would be a good way to protect the Chaos Emeralds from Eggman, because it's like, that's...
They make your dick smaller, Eggman.
No, that's not what I meant!
That won't be a problem, Sonic. I have already got a micro penis.
Stop, please.
so I can go to Gabe's house and kill him a third time.
Okay, now someone edit the Snap Cube of Sonic Adventure 2 instead of Eggman saying that he has a huge dick.
Over here!
Have the clip that Gage just made. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna work on my Sonic and my Eggman voices.
I am literally crying like 3
Okay.
tears.
You want me to say the worst thing? You want me to say the
Yes.
worst thing? Because I think I have the worst thing.
Oh yeah, see if you can beat
Alright.
me.
Say the
For
worst.
here. So at least according to Archie Cannon, Eggman is not actually a human, but he's something humanoid called an overlander that is a separate alien, the anatomy of which is not gone into detail on. So I'm just going to say here,
God.
scientifically speaking, we don't know Eggman has a penis.
He could have a starfish dick, you don't know.
That's exactly what I'm saying. We do not know the structure of this man's genitals. And I, for one, don't want to know. That terrifying level of confusion. Which is why I just inflicted it on all of you.
I'm gonna be thinking about that for the next 5 minutes.
I don't have 2 testicles, Sonic, just one nutsack that's shaped like an egg.
I feel like this is getting to your Dr. Nefarious voice more so than anything.
Wait, what are your words? What were those words you just said?
I think that's more your Dr. Nefarious voice, like the guy from
Oh,
Ratchet and
Ratchet
Clank.
Clank, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do a good Eggman. I'll work on it. Don't worry.
I don't want you to.
Get a load of this.
I hate this.
I have to breathe. After that,
So that nobody asphyxiates, we should just kind of sign out now.
Well, I was just
Don't
gonna...
even get me started on how long my taint is, Sonic.
No!
Alright, we need to sign off
I
now.
don't even have
No!
that.
Part of me doesn't want to end the podcast on this, but part of me is afraid to continue.
Don't let me continue. You have to stop
Yeah,
it.
we just need to go, and we just need to go, and this time I'm going to go to Gage's house to kill him a 4th time.
I'm
Thank
gonna
God.
block you from the call. Jesus Christ. No more.
So
No
Okay.
more.
this has been Everything is the Same Except for Sonic, and I regret a few things, but not enough of them to actually have a clean conscience.
God, Ninja, aren't you glad I'm on every episode so far?
No. I don't want you on
This
anymore.
is a good episode
You're
to
banned.
be on. This was a good episode to finally get in on after like 5.
Yeah, this is a good place to start.
Manny, you're next. You need to usher in the end.
Oh yeah, I'm Manny, and this was Everything's the Same Except I forgot my damn cue.
Is it my cue? Yeah, it's my cue.
Yeah.
I don't even remember
You
anymore.
practiced.
Just say your name.
I'm Chris. And oh my god, I think I laughed so hard that I'm almost sick. Oh.
I'm Gage, better known as Cat Comic Studios, and yeah, I promise I'll work on my Sonic and Eggman impressions. See me with my one-man show, Sonic and Eggman. this Thursday. But you could also just read my comic Key to the Future's Fate instead. It doesn't have Eggman taint in it. I'm sorry.
Oh God. Okay.
And my name is Ninja. Tune in next week when we discuss what
Go to
would
hide Gage's potty.
I was gonna say, what if Mario was the Koopa? See ya.
Goodbye.